Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Today's video is comes to you from Mother Hekate herself. I did ask her for guidance on the next video, and what came up was the that communication is key, and that was a card in my uh, what's it called? Moonology Oracle deck, right? So that's what came up. So that's what we'll talk about today. Communication, communication. Right? You, in order to get further in your awakening, you're going to need communication. Um, you're gonna have to ask questions, and I would encourage you to definitely ask questions, especially from spiritual teachers, gurus, whatever you want to call them. Somebody who's been going through this, who understands it much longer than you have, um, to ask them uh, all the questions that you have, and to never feel guilty about asking what you might think is a dumb question, right? Because asking questions is also an important to um to oh, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. To obtaining what you desire. Communication is important for obtaining your desires, and um being collected, yeah, calm, collected, and and oh, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Um, Grounded with your desires, right? Ask questions, you know. Yeah, communication is really important. It's one of those things like that well, with me for instance, the thing that I'm going through right now is that um my parents are from a very strict Christian religion, and I am transgender. So there's not a lot of good communication between us right now. But I did, you know, just a couple of minutes ago write out a note giving them a an ultimatum, because I have tried to talk to them in the past politely, you know, about me being transgender and about my dysphoria problems, about it giving me depression, about it giving me anxiety, and they have not reacted kindly to it. They did not have a good reaction. Mostly they just tried to shut me out, tried to keep me from talking further about it. So, unfortunately for me, I've had to give them an ultimatum. I have told them that we are either going to have to that they're going to have to come to terms with the fact that I am transgender, and we need to learn how to coexist with one another's and make some changes so that my life isn't constantly miserable, or they need to help me get into a position where I can move out of the house. So, that's what I've had to do. It's unfortunate, because I really do love my parents. I love them a lot, and I wish the best for them, but unfortunately, with the way they were raised and how old they are now, um, the chances of them making such a big shift is unlikely in this lifetime. Maybe in the next one, but not this one. I think it's too little, too late for both of them in this lifetime. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to change their minds about it. I don't think that anything that I would have to say could possibly change their minds about it, or, you know, bring them out of this, what would I call it? Bring them out of this religious ego that they have currently. You know, bring them out of the false self and bring them out of just believing that they have the one and only way, and that gay people and transgender are all sins against God. I don't believe Jesus would have agreed with that at all. I don't think he would really care that much. I think that he would see us as we are, as the beautiful divine beings that we are, and he would walk alongside us, um, hand in hand, while Christians would be ranting and raving and yelling and all this other kind of stuff, right? This is not my God. You're not who you said you were. All of that kind of bullshit nonsense, right? Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate. So not really where I plan to take this video, but I'm just letting spirit guide me on this one, and this is where it's taking me. I really don't like to have to play the role of mediator, even though I prefer to be the leader type. I'm a very relaxed and um flowy type of person, just you do you kind of person. That's usually the type of person that I am. Um, in real life, online, I can be a very different kind of person online because, you know, my face isn't out there. I'm not having to worry so much about, what other people say, because it's not gonna affect me, right? It's that communication coming back, right? Um, but communication is really important. You can't go about your path without having communication. Even if that communication is with yourself, you definitely need to have communication with yourself when you're going through an awakening. A direct communication with yourself, your higher self, your true self. Um, Communication with your thoughts and your emotions, but not getting lost in those thoughts and emotions, will definitely help you uh, going forward in your awakening journey. It is definitely helpful. It was helpful for me um, when I started meditation. Right when I started meditation, and I started being still and listening to myself and listening to my emotions and listening to my body and what it wants and what it's feeling, instead of constantly um trying to keep my mind in a busy state where I don't have to think about anything. I was communicating with myself finally, and I became more aware. I became more aware of what I needed to be doing, um, what I was feeling and why I was feeling it. You know, uh, back when I was a teenager, I would have never thought to, would have never crossed my mind that the reason that I was having all of these problems is because I was I was sensitive to rejection because my parents just wouldn't accept me for who I am as a trans person, as a male to female transgender. That thought never would have occurred to me. In fact, that would have been the last thing on my mind. I probably would have blamed myself for having that issue, right? I would have been blaming myself. And that's what can happen when you don't have a clear line of communication with yourself. You can get into these thoughts that everything is your fault. Everything that happens to you is because of you. And to some extent, that can be true. But it's not always true. There are some situations in life that are caused by other people. And there's not really anything we can do about it except, move away from those people, you know? Uh, but if you don't choose to have communication with yourself, you won't know whether or not you should be moving away from those people or disconnecting with those people. Um, whether that be family, friends, whether that be a wife, or, even if your kids have become toxic to a point where um, you just can't be around them. I know that there are some kids who grow up, they become teenagers, they get into drugs, and they go into gangs and things like that. Sometimes as a parent, you have to let them go. You have to separate yourself from them because their life is toxic, and you can't live your life around toxic people because they will drag you down with them, right? They will absolutely drag you down with them because they themselves don't want to be left drowning in their own problems. Uh, you might be able to hear my heater over there. I have a small heater in my room that just kicked on, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. I really, I don't have a microphone and I don't have amazing editing software for these videos. So if you can hear that in the background, sorry. I'm doing the best that I can. But anyway, yeah, you have to have good communication with yourself and good communication with people around you to let them know, what your boundaries are, to let them know what what you want out of the relationship, what you want out of a friendship, what you want, in a family relationship. You have to set those communicative, communicative, communicative. Sorry, that's a difficult word for me. Boundaries for those people in order for them to understand, you know, where you are mentally, emotionally, physically with yourself and with them, you know. So it's important. It's very important. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that topic. But let's get into the reading. Um, today's reading, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm using a a very different deck. Um, probably one of my favorites because it is very in your face, a very in your face type of deck. Um, it is the Rebel deck, Oracle with Attitude. Um, there are curse words in this in this particular deck, so if you do have kids around, you might want to turn the volume down a little bit. But anyway, let's see what Spirit has to say Spirit has to say for today, huh? See what you all should be focusing on for the day. Guidance and wisdom for the collective, please, Spirit. Mother Hecate, we invite you into this reading as well. Your wisdom and insight is always welcome. Blessed be. See what the cards have to say. Shuffle these up real good. I always try to shuffle the cards real good. Um, a lot of people might only do one or two shuffles. Usually doesn't work out very well because you know, cards can end up in the same place as the last time you were doing shuffling. It's not very good. But anyway, don't fucking force it. And on the back it says, allow that shit to come to you. Right? So Spirit says, don't force it. That also goes along with communication, right? If there's something you want out of something, if there's something you're wanting out of a relationship, and you're trying to force it, it's not going to work out well for you. Especially if you're not communicating that you want that certain thing, and you're just trying to nudge somebody into knowing that you want it, right? Doesn't work, you know. But yeah, especially the back the back of the card saying allow it to come to you. That's another thing about an awakened journey. Sometimes you have to wait and let things come to you. I wish it was different, but sometimes spirit will hold things back from you until you're ready. It happens all the time. Sometimes you have to wait for when the right time comes. Ooh, sorry. I just ate, so my stomach is a little bit full. I'm a little bit gassy. So, but anyway, yeah, sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes what you want is not going to come to you until you allow it to come to you. Trying to force something to come to you, it may end up pushing it further away. There are a lot of situations where that can happen. Lots of. I've been through several of them myself. Um, I've been through those kinds of situations with my friends. I've been the one to try to force them to, you know, um, move further along in their awakening to face things that they weren't ready to face, and I tried to force that. I've also tried to force certain types of information that I learned onto, you know, them when they weren't ready for that type of information. And it didn't end well. It ended in us fussing, fighting, and arguing with one another. And eventually us splitting apart. Um, We don't actually talk to one another anymore, which is just kind of sad because I miss them a lot. I do. I miss talking to them. I miss talking to my witchy friends. But yeah, I made a mistake. I tried to force something that I shouldn't have, and that was the consequence of it. So, don't don't try to force it. Don't try to force things if it's not happening, right? Don't try to force it. Wait for it to happen, right? Wait for it to happen. Wait for those people to come to you to ask you, you know. Wait for them to ask you. Wait for it to happen, and then, it'll happen. Sometimes that's just how it is. Life is weird. Life is strange like that. Sometimes when we stop trying to chase something, it just shows up. And we don't know why, how, or where it came from. Um, I've had that happen a couple of times as well. Um, but yeah. Uh, I think that's all I think that's gonna be it for today's video. I think I have said all that need to be said in this video. So, anyway, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me tell me what you thought. Give me your opinions. Uh, Let me know what situations you've been in where you had to wait for something or wait for somebody to be ready for you to tell them something. Leave me your stories down below, right? And I hope this video has earned your subscription. And as always, as I put in the description usually, Namaste. I hope you find your inner peace, and I will see you guys in the next video.